Hello and welcome back. When I was scrolling through Pinterest for ideas on what to paint, I found this wonderful watercolor bird. And when I clicked on it, I found another one. On my hunt to find the original artist, oh wait, there she is. I ran into Katya Minkina, a daily paintwork website. I had a hard time choosing reference images since there were so many potential candidates. But finally, I narrowed it down to this one. The next step was emailing Miss Minkina to make sure it was okay for me to use her images as references. I honestly didn't expect her to respond so quickly, but the next day, basically, she told me that I can use her art as reference as long as I don't copy brushstroke for brushstroke. Yeah, I can work with that. With a semi-sealed letter of approval, I got started. For the materials I'm going to use are a cup of water, a few select brushes, some very nice watercolor pencils, and the following watercolor paint. So, to start off, I laid down a layer of water to allow the pigments to flow. Then, I mixed Prussian blue with a tiny bit of crimson to get a more indigo violet color. I began with some watered down layers and built up with darker colors as the layers dried. Make sure not to overwater the paper like I did, because then you'll have to use paper towels to lift the water off the paper. I continuously messed with the pigments until they were settled in a decent position. I forgot to record a good chunk of the video, but it's a similar process with the yellow ochre head feathers too. Just use more water than paint. For the feathers, I tried to keep the black lines as crisp as possible, but ended up making the paint bleed past the white parts. So I cheated a little and used white paint to reintroduce highlights. Now for the beak, I started with a combination of burnt sienna, yellow ochre, and a tiny bit of burnt umber, and dulled it down with burnt sienna and yellow ochre combination. As you can see, I used a lot of water, a bit too much. But here's a quick tip. You can use a Q-tip to quickly remove extra water in small areas. Then I added a few more feather markings and painted the projections over the nose. I don't know the exact names of these parts and I'm too lazy to Google, so if you know, please let me know. Then I had this really high IQ idea to use watercolor pencils in small detail areas, and it actually worked out really well. If you don't know what watercolor pencils are, they're basically watercolor and color pencil format. I'll make a separate video about them and their exact uses, so make sure to check that out when it's available. For the feet, I used a pink watercolor pencil and burnt umber. For areas of shadow, I used more burnt umber, and for areas of highlight, I used more water. As for the claws, I used burnt umber and black. Finally, it's time to paint the background. The stem that the parakeet is sitting on is painted in this beautiful, vibrant, brownish yellow. I tried to recreate the color using yellow ochre, burnt umber, and a bit of burnt sienna. As the backdrop, I used sap green and burnt umber combination and layered until I got my desired effect. Now, I will say, I didn't copy everything from the original and kind of just made up my own techniques as I went along, and it was a great learning experience overall. And now, to compare it to the original. I mean, I like both of them, but I'll let you guys decide. Thank you all so much for watching, and a big thanks to Katya Minkina for letting me use your paintings in the video. You guys should check out her art. I'll put the link in the description. Thanks for watching. Bye!